It has been a cold and a wet spring, and one local apple farm will not just rely on the standard practices of Mother Nature to help with its apple crop.
New at 10, meteorologist Jesse Ritka takes us to Sturtevant to see why there's a buzz around their solution.
From the goats to the fruit, Apple Holler has so much for the family to enjoy, but there are some worker bees here you may not have noticed.
As you can see, we're going to have a lot of Empire apples this year too, with that heavy bloom there.
More than 30 varieties show their beautiful apple blossoms, painting a pink and white portrait from the ground to the treetops.
Probably within a couple days, this will be solid white.
Look a little closer and you can even see the start of an apple.
A zillion little tiny eraser-sized apples on all the trees. It looks like a very good bloom this year, and it looks like just about all of those 30 varieties will have a decent crop.
But apple picking may not be possible without the help of what is in these boxes.
They might be a little crabby, so.
Bees.
Eventually you will see a bee or more flying around in that tree doing their pollinating from blossom to blossom. I think it's just a very cool thing. It's nature's way of making sure that pollination occurs and the blossom gets pollinated.
Nature doesn't have enough bees, though, to populate your guys' orchard.
So Apple Holler rents bees.
Oh, there's some hives, Jesse.
From May Honey Farms in Illinois.
We pay $90 per hive.
Okay.
50 hives, that's $4,500.
Wow.
Yeah. For me, bringing in bees, roughly 1.5 million bees in 50 different hives, is kind of an insurance policy to make sure that we get all those 30 different varieties of apples pollinated.
Because with 20,000 trees on nearly 60 acres,
Honeycrisp, on the other hand, is behind.
Owner Dave Flannery doesn't want to rely solely on Mother Nature, who isn't always reliable when it comes to Wisconsin weather.
One year I remember putting them in somewhere at the end of March. This year everything's been so late because it was such a cold spring and now so wet.
Which creates its own problems when picking up the bees.
This one's stuck in the mud.
But after the bees head back to Illinois,
Right on top.
Apple Holler isn't worried about its apple harvest being stuck in the mud.
Right now they say we're about 10 days behind, but come harvest, nature has its way of, over the course of the summer, balancing it all out, and so we'll probably be pretty close.
So this fall, when you come to pick an apple from these trees, just remember it all began with the blossoms and the bees. At Apple Holler, Jesse Ritka, today's TMJ4.